one in the books. You had a great outing tonight. Can you talk about that second half comeback that you guys had?
Going into the game, we knew that we had to win the rebounding battle. And, I mean, going into halftime, we knew that we didn't play our best in the first half. And, I mean, we knew if we did what we needed to do and everyone did their jobs, we were going to come out on top.
For a first game, there was still a certain amount of physicality out there. Were you guys ready for that level? How good of a test did you think this was for an opener?
It was definitely a good test. We knew they were going to be physical and tough coming into it because that's the type of team they were last year. But we prepared in practice, and I would say that we were well prepared for the game.
Brant, what's the focus of game one? I mean, can you kind of pinpoint what the focus is for the program right now?
The focus is going 1-0, really, to say it in a simple way, but just to play hard and just focus on executing and doing your job is the main point, and then the outcome will take care of itself.
Taking what you did last year and focusing on this year, what's your role this year going to be, and how that may have changed from what last year was all about?
I don't know that it changes a whole lot. I would say that there's definitely a lot more opportunity with this year's team, and then being experienced. Now this is my almost second year, just knowing what they expect. So, I mean, I know what my job is, and just do my best to get it done.
Kind of took a little longer than usual to get going on 3-point attempts. I guess how do you guys get the confidence to keep shooting those shots even if they're not falling early?
We know that we're a good 3-point shooting team. Obviously, they didn't fall in the first half, but as Coach says, water always finds its level. And, I mean, we knew that was going to happen because in every game it happens, it seems.
Kind of on that point, how were you able to adjust to put the basketball in the paint more after struggling kind of from deep a little bit?
Just staying aggressive, never backing down, just knowing that you're going to break through at some point. So if you stay aggressive, it's bound to happen.
Kind of talking about some of those runs you guys went on, what kind of role does momentum play in a game like this?
I would say it plays a huge role. We had a pretty good crowd tonight, and I can say that definitely helped as well. And then when we saw in the second half, like Trey Perry had the steal and the offensive rebound, like stuff like that, has a huge effect on the game because it's demoralizing for the defense or for the other team. So yeah, that played a big part.
When they got out to that big lead right off the bat, it seemed like Coach still had enough confidence to keep you guys out there at it. You feel like you've got enough experience to weather those kind of starts, those kind of storms?
Yeah, I mean, having guys like Peter and Evan who have been either playing basketball for a while or been in the program for a while, guys like that are just tough and never stop playing, you know that you're going to have a chance in every single game, no matter what the deficit is or how good the opponent is.
Brant, how does the team react, when you have a player like Peter Suter getting in foul trouble? Just how does everybody kind of step up and, what were you guys saying together, when that happened?
I mean, Peter's a great player, so having him get in foul trouble definitely plays an effect. But like I said, like having guys like Evan or Ian on the team who's been in the program, like it doesn't make the effect of Peter being in foul trouble near as big.
First and foremost, I want to address, obviously, Old Dominion, down a couple players, Robert Davis, who's arguably the best player in the Sun Belt, Steph Walker, who also is another, I don't know whether he's a starter for him or not, but he's at least a rotation guy. And, man, I thought Mike had his team ready to play. I thought they were the aggressor early, more physical, tougher, obviously made some shots, which helped as well. Now, our defense left a lot to be desired early on, and we left them open. But, man, he had his team ready to play. And listen, he does a great job. He's put together a great roster. But they were more ready than us to start. And that's what I told our guys. Listen, we got to be better from the jump, execution-wise on both ends. I thought we played hard. We just played silly. at times defensively. Our execution on ball screen defense cost us several points. Execution on and just in our gap defense cost us several points, and they made us pay. That's what good teams do. But I thought kind of at that 8-minute mark, under 8 in the first half, we kind of is where the tide kind of started to turn for us. We tied that round, and then we won the last round in the second half. We break down the game into 10 4-minute rounds. We won the last round heading into the half, which I thought gave us great momentum, and then that carried on obviously into the second half. But mixed up some zone, man, stuff like that, try to throw them off balance, which I thought was good for us. But man-to-man's got to be our bread and butter if we want to win this league. Obviously we didn't shoot well, but I thought early on we took some forced shots because we were over-dribbling. We were running to the ball. We weren't super connected early, and I thought that really got ironed out as the game wore on as well. So, obviously Pete got in foul trouble. We had some foul trouble, but again, we have a lot of good players. So I thought Trey Perry, I do want to give him a special shout out. The offensive rebound he had was enormous, and then he created a turnover the next possession. I think it's just great examples of how you can impact the game in multiple ways, right? There's a lot of different ways to do it rather than just scoring. So, again, team effort, man. I thought it was a good team win. Good to get it kicked off this season. But we obviously got a lot to learn from this. We'll get a lot to learn from this film and continue to grow.
Coach, you had 28 points off turnovers and 42 in the paint. To what extent do you think a lot of that was associated with hustle?
Our guys play hard. Again, it's probably what makes me fall in love with guys when I watch them play before they come here. It's just motor. You can't teach that, man. Evan's going to leave it all out there every time he's out there. He's all over the floor. I mean, he's everywhere. Pete's everywhere. Ian's everywhere. Luke's everywhere. Trey Perry. I mean, it just come in waves, right? And our guys were hustling. I think our guys were anticipating on the defensive end, which obviously led to a lot of our offense. And that's when we're at our best, is when we can create offense off of our defense. We got to the free throw line a lot. And that our team is different than last year. Every team's different. We didn't shoot. We're a way better shooting team than we shot tonight when we're taking the right ones. I think we're one of the best shooting teams in the country. But I do think this team has an ability to really get to the free throw line way more than we did last year. So I think you may see us. We can win in different ways. We can win and still score 87, although we were 7 of 24 from 3. I don't know if last year's team could have scored that many points if we were 7 of 24 from 3, for example. So I think we can score in a lot of different ways, is what that shows. Antoine was tremendous. I mean, gosh, man, golly, he was an animal down low, man. He was a beast for us. So, but again, it's just good to see we can score in different ways.
Travis, opening day in a lot of places, you invite somebody in that you're far superior than, you have a nice, comfortable win. In this conference that started today with the MAC and the Sun Belt, I think there were 8 games going down to the wire tonight. Mm-hmm. Is that good for the league, and is it good for basketball to start opening day with that heavy stuff?
Yeah, I think so, man. It's great. I mean, scheduling's so hard. Man, and a lot of it's analytical stuff, right? So you get all these analytical companies telling schools you shouldn't play this team. You can't play this team. You should only stay away from those quad 2s and quad 3s. You want to play quad 1 and quad 4 games. Right, and it's just the Sun Belt Challenge is great for us because it gives us 2 games that we're not responsible to schedule. Right? I mean, it's guaranteed for us. It's like the league games. I mean, we're guaranteed to good games. Sun Belt's a really good league, and it's been a great series for us. So again, there's no better way to start off college basketball. It's like this morning, I was watching a little bit of Winthrop Queens, which is great, and then I think they were at 8 a.m. That's awesome, man. That's good for college basketball. And then you had the second game, I think, was Bradley and St. Bonaventure, maybe. And it's like, man, this is great. This is really that's what gets people excited, man. So, obviously, I think it's great for our league. It's great for the Sun Belt as well. I think if you look at our best wins from the MAC conference overall last year, the best wins we had in non-conference from the MAC was in the Sun Belt Challenge. So it gives us just great opportunities that maybe we wouldn't get otherwise.
Coach Skowjak had a great game, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
How good was it to see him getting going early?
Yeah, Luke is he's a dynamite player. I think I've said it several times to different people. I think you're going to see him take a massive, massive jump. He has a bigger opportunity on this year's team than he did last year. Part of it was he was a freshman. He didn't know what he didn't know. But he's become way more of a two-way player. You know, he's not just an offensive guy. He's a playmaker for us. He's tremendous. He can score at all three levels. He can pass. He anticipates. He's long. He's a great player. So I'm not surprised because he does it every day in practice.
And then playing in front of a huge crowd like this, how good was it to get a win with the home crowd behind you?
Great. We want to keep the momentum going. Listen, from last year, I think that's important. And you got to be able to protect home court. That's incredibly important to having a successful program. I think we've won 16 games in a row now at home. I don't know what I wonder what the record is. Millette, maybe somebody in here knows. You guys probably know better than me. I just kind of live day to day, but it's a good number to have, because I can tell you, my first couple years, it wasn't that way. We had a hard time just going 500 at home, but the crowd's a big part of that, right? You know, all of a sudden now you see the students and you hear the students, and like, man, it makes our guys play better because of them. They're like the sixth man in a lot of ways. So they're so impactful, and we got to get that, keep moving forward here.
First game action for Perry and Robbins, Waltz as well. How would you assess their performance the first time going against another team?
Yeah, I thought Trey can really score the ball. He didn't probably show that as much tonight. I don't even know. I think he had a bucket, right? He had one. He had a nice finish. But he can really score. I think once he settles in, you'll see that. I mean, he's a 3-level scorer. He's a tough kid. Like I said, makes hustle plays. He's a winner. I thought he really impacted the game in a big way tonight without his scoring, which is a huge positive sign. T-Rob, listen, he is an absolute monster. He is going to be tremendous. I can't say enough good things about Tyler. Tonight, the matchups were a little bit hard. And I told him that. I said, listen, because Steph Walker was out, so they played Jared Turner some at the 5, who Jared Turner only shoots threes, but 85 or 90% of his shots are from 3, right? So it's like we had to switch out all of his ball screens, and it's hard for Tyler to switch in that case. And I said, man, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just the matchups are a little bit jacked up here tonight, and his time's coming. I can tell you that, man. He is a very good player, and it was good to get Waltz a little bit of action there at the very end, because he's going to be a big part of our team, obviously moving forward as well.
Coach, what was it like to coach game 1 of the season?
Man, it's like Christmas. You know, it's like a blind date, though. We ain't got no film. We ain't got no film on Old Dominion. Hey, man, you don't know what to expect, right? When you go out there, and sometimes the freshmen, you don't know really what to expect either. And you may go to that blind date, and you may go in there and be like, man, I'm walking out, like real quick. Or you may say, hey, I'm gonna sit down. I don't really like blind dates. I never went on a blind date growing up. But it's hard as a coach. It's hard as a coach in a lot of ways, man, because you don't know what to expect. But it's fun. It's exciting, man. I know our guys are excited to get games going. We've had 6 weeks of practice. You would think that I could get them to play better and execute a little better if I've had 6 weeks to practice, right? So it's probably telling on myself. I got to get ourselves to execute better. But it's exciting, man. It's great. It's great to play and get back out there and compete.
Going off that, what were some of the focuses tonight that you kind of maybe had for game 1?
Yeah, I think number one, rebounding. They were 13th in the country in offensive rebounding percentage last year. I think we won 33-29. We had 8 offensive rebounds. We need more, if I'm being honest. But I thought, again, we competed on the glass, which was good to see. We want to keep our defense tight. LJ Thomas and Shaw are tremendous one-on-one players. Shaw hung 30 on us last year when he was at the UMES, monster player. And then we wanted to play with pace, and I thought as the game wore on, we were able to play with a lot more pace. It wasn't just a half-court game. We're at our best when it's up and down.
Old Dominion shot 8 for 13 from 3 in the first half. Second half, they shot 1 for 8.
Yeah.
What was the locker room conversation at halftime to get them to contain them at?
Yeah, I would say it's a great. So we got down, and even during the moments of the game, it's like, man, you don't flinch, you just stay with it. They made us pay. A lot of them were our mistakes, and that's what good teams do. They make you pay. They made us pay for every single one of them, and some of them were and one threes, right? They're 4-point plays, and it was like, golly. I thought playing zone, mixing up zone and man kind of got them out of rhythm. out of whack a little bit there in the second half. We did it a lot more than we did in the first half. It was a good look for us, but we got to be better in our man. I mean, we got to be able to execute that way better, and we will. That's what gives us great upside, I think, as a team. And listen, they made us pay for it, and just continue to contest shots and then live with it, whatever that result might be.
Coach, you mentioned Trey Perry, Atlas, and also had a couple big threes in that game.
Yeah.
Obviously, first time here, first game as a Red Hawk. How do you trust those guys so much in those big moments so early on?
Yeah, we traditionally at least play 9 guys in our rotation, and we want to build our bench we're going to need. And then I've like I told our guys, it's not definitive who's starting for us moving forward. Nothing's in concrete, right? Like everything is very fluid. I mean, it's early, but like we have multiple guys who can start more than 5, in my opinion, and they've earned that trust through practice, just the consistency piece, and then also the productivity piece, right? We play those that are productive and those that we trust, and I think Almar has done nothing but that since he's been here. And he's a pro, man. The way he kind of goes about his days and how his process, man, is tremendous. And a guy like Trey Perry, man, he's just his competitiveness and his toughness just permeates. You see, I mean, you feel it. You feel him play. You feel that force, man, which is exciting. So it's good to see it come to life. And listen, they'll play way better than they even played tonight, I think, as they get more comfortable.
Coach, one question. What did you see? What do you want to see from your team going forward that you didn't see tonight, and what would you want to see highlighted in the next matchup?
So I think number one, let's talk about the offensive end. Stop over dribbling. Don't force things. Offense can't be forced, right? They were hedging. We hadn't prepared for a hedge. Last year they dropped a lot more. They hedged, and I thought we forced stuff, especially early. And we were running to the ball constantly, not cutting enough. And our offense about connectivity, about player movement, ball movement, that's when we're humming. That's when we're elite. Then on the other end, right, like our defense is built to take away threes as well while still protecting the paint. Like it should be tough, contested jump shots. And I thought they had too many open jump shots there in the first half. And again, part of it was ball screen defense. Big part of it was a couple of them were off of just a gap. Like we just got to be able to execute our defensive system in the half court a lot better.
You had 5 guys at double figures, and one of them was not Elmer. Should Miami fans kind of expect a pretty balanced box scoring thing through the season?
I think so. I think you look since I've probably been here. I think that's kind of how we're built. Strength in numbers. I think we could have 7 guys average double figures. Wouldn't shock me, to be honest. So that's the beauty of playing the way that we play. It's about connectivity, making the right play, making the extra pass, cutting for others, running for others, crashing for others. It's all about others. Like where I'm disappointed tonight is our assists, 11 assists. That stinks. That's ugly. We need to be 19, 20 assists. That's when we know we're humming on offense, and we weren't doing that tonight. But again, it's the first game. We got a lot to get better at. We'll get there.